brings me to the NEMA representative, Idris Abubakar Mohammed. It looks like whenever we prepare for flood, we prepare for response of NEMA. So we know that there's going to be a disaster. Instead of having to deal with the issue so we don't have a disaster, we prepare for disaster instead. So I'd like you to give us a statistics of, what Nigeria has spent so far in having to manage the disaster as a result of flood in the past years. Because from what Pastor Bejide has said, I'm thinking that, if all of that money was channeled into building a dam, we would not be dealing with a disaster, which also costs money and is costing lives. What's your take on that?
Thank you very much. Every time we are discussing floods, like Pastor has said, I record the lamentations of the ancient marina. Water everywhere, not a drop to drink. Water is a valuable resource. On your question, the disaster management architecture for Nigeria is structured in line with the federal political setting of Nigeria. The law that set up NEMA also made provision for state emergency management agencies at the state level, local emergency management committees. So disaster management is cross-cutting, is all-inclusive. States, local government, the federal government, everybody must do his bits. We are just praising Jigawa State. So there are certain things that are structural, just like clearing the drainage basins, the drains, desilting the rivers. Most of our rivers and the dam reservoirs are heavily silted. They are built some 30, 40 years ago. I recall the first earth dam built in Nigeria was in Kano State, the Birninkudu Dam, where I attended my secondary school. We have the Kainji Dam, we have the Tiga Dam, we have a lot of dams, as part of our agricultural revolution over the years. But most of these dams are heavily silted. They are full of water, sand, so to say. So as the rain comes in, rains will always happen. Every year rain will fall, definitely. But you see, over the years, population of Nigeria, early independence period was about 40 million. Now we are more than 200 million. So people must build houses. Infrastructure is expanding. People must farm so that we can feed the population. So a lot of human activities, which are definitely going to impact on the environment. I asked an engineer during our humanitarian coordination forum one time from the Ministry of Agriculture. And he told me that desilting a dam, the reservoir of a dam, because the dam is a structure, then the body of water is a reservoir. Desilting a reservoir is as costly as building a new dam and a reservoir. So these are capital-intensive things. But that notwithstanding, states, local governments, NEMA, we are doing a lot with various degrees of successes. States have different capacities. States like Jigawa, like Lagos State, they are doing so much. FCT here, they are doing so much to mitigate these impacts of flooding. But like we always say, floods will always happen. It's only when you have a nexus with human habitation that it becomes a disaster. The rain recharge our underground water systems. 2018, I was in Patigi in Kwara State. Then we went for an assessment because half of the community was inundated. Then we met a fishmonger by the river banks, the river Niger. Left-hand side is Kwara State, right-hand side is Niger State. And he said, oh, we love the floods. Anytime the water recedes, we catch a lot of fishes. Just like the commissioner said, people impound water, and during the dry season, a lot of fishes. And as the water is receding, they are planting their crops. So even without irrigation, you see a lot of tomatoes, onions, mention them. They are from that soil moisture. So the flood itself is not all doom and gloom, of course. But for lives to be lost is definitely is disheartening, and we have to rejig our processes of mitigating these floods so that we safeguard our national
Thank you.